All right, folks, we're back. Hello. And I'm feeling a little bit toasty now. Things are good. We're going to be moving on to the next best of 3 here ASAP. But because we do have some time to kill, cool story time with Rifkin. I broke my blinds, apparently, while I was fixing things. And they won't come down. So I have this window gaping into the black abyss that is my neighborhood. And I'm not so worried much about that as I am other people being able to see my brightly, very well illuminated room with my professional studio lighting glaring on my face and staring at me from across the road or something. I guess if you're watching me on stream, that's fine. But if you're watching me from across the street, that's going to be weird. But close the window. So that's a good start. Secondly, I have what's called a bed jet. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, you geeked out to me when you got it.
Yeah, so it's not exactly like a space heater. It's got like a really low airflow of kind of warm air. So it's far from heating things. However, it doesn't quite reach where my computer is. So what I've done is I've blown it into a piece of PVC, like it's aimed at a piece of PVC pipe, which is blowing directly into my covers that I have sitting on my lap, and it's kind of keeping my toes toasty. And my thought and logic is that as the blood circulates around my body, it'll eventually get to my fingers and hopefully be more warm than the ice cold tips that they currently are.
Amazing.
You could call me MacGyver if you'd like. I wouldn't mind.
I don't know, man. I don't know. MacGyver would have done it with a toothpick.
MacGyver? How would MacGyver have done that with a toothpick? Do enlighten me.
I don't know. I'm not actually MacGyver. He won't tell you.
Did you see they tried to reboot that show, by the way, recently?
I think I did, yeah.
It was not good. I watched the first episode, and it was like bad cliche after bad cliche.
That rebooted Rush Hour.
I have not seen that. I've not heard of that. That can't be good. Unless that's...
I don't think it's that good.
Anyways, so I see KeeN online. Did you get an invite to the party? I didn't get an invite to the party.
No, I don't think there was a party.
It's Crank's party. I'm going to try joining that. Okay, yeah. Request to join party, I guess. There's nine people chilling. So it's going to be Dark versus KeeN. Lobby's being made right now on Overgrowth. Nice.
Cool. I was not left out.
Double nice. So I guess we'll update title of the stream, Dark versus KeeN. I would love for the rest of this tournament to be us riding Dark all the way to the finals, and then have a big rematch, Innovation versus Dark, that goes, hell, even in the favor of Dark. That'd just be a really cool story for the way this tournament goes, having him started off with a 2-0 on the BlizzCon second place finisher.
Well, I was kind of expecting this to happen when he first brought it up. I was like, yeah, actually, that seems like the most likely thing to happen. And then suddenly he had a little bit of trouble versus the Protoss, and I was like, oh shit, maybe no, I don't know. I think he will 2-0 KeeN, however, this will be a problem.
Well, getting into Overgrowth. The lobby's started. Let's hop into it. So I have good news regarding the bad pizza decision from yesterday.
Oh, the eating pizza decision?
Oh yeah, the part where I ate the whole pizza, yeah.
Okay.
Luckily, due to the stress and frustration that was 5 hours of losing to co-op in a row, I didn't eat yesterday. So I think it balanced out. Because when I woke up and weighed myself this morning, I was exactly the same.
Nice. That sure.
I know that's not necessarily how it works, okay? But mentally it's how it works, and it makes me feel good, okay? Logic is if you eat 2 pounds of pizza, you're probably going to gain 2 pounds. That's what I'm saying.
Sure, yeah.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting back in the game, and I'm freaking hungry. Spawning the bottom left side, he's the red Terran player. It's KeeN.
In the top right is the blue Zerg. He is Dark.
Alright, so KeeN, we've actually... What I love about KeeN is this guy comes out to play everywhere. Whether we're doing the Alima League on Korea with Oli Moly, whether we're doing the Corsair Cup on Europe, KeeN plays everywhere. So we've gotten to see a lot of aspects of KeeN. He has been a questionable player in a lot of instances. But as funny as it is, I can certainly see the potential of him giving Dark a run for his money. I think if I'm a betting man, I still bet on Dark for this series, but KeeN's not been looking so bad lately. He's not been looking amazing. He's kind of like billowy in that regard, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this will be like the easiest 2-0 ever, but I do think it'll be a 2-0. I just think KeeN will like do decently until he kind of falters either in macro or bad engagement. And Dark will just pounce on top of him because of that. Because it really, like, Dark was doing all the right moves, which is innovation, but it was innovation's KeeN macro and an ultra game, I guess his micro and just ability to keep his units alive, that really showed how he could win versus Dark. I don't think KeeN is actually on that level. I'll just say it outright, I suppose. I don't think it's as good as innovation, which I don't think anyone's going to really fault me for.
How dare you?
I don't think so. But what KeeN has that innovation does not is an ability to do different things. KeeN, innovation for the most part, not only does the same build in a lot of circumstances, like a lot of days, he'll do the same build over and over again. It's not always a 2-1-1, but for instance, in like Shoutcraft, he would always do the Cyclone thing. It's just like that day he wanted to do what he did. KeeN has a lot of variance from tournament to tournament, day to day, build order to build order. And that could maybe surprise Dark. It could also just be as different as not following up with the 3rd medevac to the main army, but rather going for a drop instead. Something like that might throw Dark off, who's just gotten used to playing against someone who's kind of trying to bully him into death.
Well, Reaper managed to actually get past all the defenses. Not just scalp, but get a bit of damage down in the main. A little bit scary over there. I'm loving all the people suggesting heating exercises like rubbing your hands together and whatnot to get warm.
Wait, you can rub your hands together?
No one has suggested the best solution though, and I don't know if you've heard of this one, Zombie Grove, but I heard if you're really cold, you should always try and stand in the corner of a room, because over there it's always 90 degrees.
People still have to come a mile away. Disappointed. Oh, you think it's hilarious.
I love that joke. It's so stupid that it's great. We do have Overlord speed coming out of Dark, so we're going to be pretty insistent on scouting what KeeN's doing. KeeN, actually, it's funny because you likened him to Innovation earlier, and he is doing basically the same build as Innovation. The question is, can he execute it as well?
Yeah, that's a like add-on that I was talking about, which is, okay, he might have the same build plan. Maybe he does go for 2-1-1 in all 3 games. But he still has that option, I think, to actually vary how he uses it. And also, when it comes to the late game, Innovation never actually showed us the faster 4th base plus a lot of Liberators. He just, like, stuck to his Marines in that 2nd game, which I think that no other Terran, well, Beyond and Maro maybe could have done it, but, like, I don't think KeeN could actually make that work with mass Marines. I think KeeN would be, like, more inclined, again, to change things up and go for more of, like, a turtle into super late game, if he's forced into it.
Maro only just started streaming again. I hadn't
or
really considered.
This. Oh, I actually love this variation. Ryung showed it to me first, but you swap the supposed like reactor sometimes off the starport, but he actually did it off the barracks. So that's interesting. And you just build Hellbats, and if they're only going for Lings, they totally die. They're dead.
So Dark, by the way, I think he kind of knows. The scout on that Overlord caught the tail end of them swapping. I hope he realizes what's up at least.
Yeah. The only awkward thing is if he wasn't like actually paying attention and just saw the swap of reactor, he might have confused it with barracks swapping onto reactor. But I think he would have been paying attention. So what he needs is Banelings, and that's what he's getting. If you get enough Banelings, they will roll through Hellbats. Sure, Roaches are like, I guess, the most obvious answer, but Banelings at one point were the best answer, even against Hellbat pushes.
But Banelings, unfortunately, have the same aspect of this that they do versus Adepts and Zealots, where like if the spread is good, it's still not going to be enough. But I don't imagine KeeN's going to have like the craziest Hellbat spread when you're pushing that front line against these queens. You don't want to have them spread out. You want them clumped up. You want them going in together. Thanks for those bits, whoever just cheered. But right now, we have an attempted counterattack, quickly driven away. The Lings aren't going to get past this wall. He knows it too. So coming from the backside, maybe squishing in on the army might be his best chance.
KeeN, by the way, did not follow up with more Hellbats. And because he swapped off the barracks, not the starport, he's going to have consistent 2 medevac production. That is a bit of a difference, and you can try and macro out of this, which in this case is not a 3rd base, but more barracks and a 2-base follow-up push.
Thank you for more bits. People are cheering for my joke, or at least that's what I'm going to pretend is the case here, as I see the reactions to chat. I love you guys! But no, for the request, we're not getting an Ace Cringe mode anytime soon. Well, actually, we already have one. It's my face, right?
Is that what we officially put it
No.
as?
No, stop. I was being sarcastic. Don't turn that into a thing. People will start doing that as a thing.
I feel like that's actually like 2 years ago when it happened. Okay, anyway.
No, I've gotten away with it for this long. Don't ruin it.
Okay, I'm bad.
So this attack never actually got off the ground, which is really unfortunate. And now KeeN, okay, he's got the weird unit type paired up with a lack in upgrades. This is a little bit awkward as he pushes forward. Creep might be the only thing he's able to get here.
Yeah, I mean, KeeN, I think, very quickly realized it wasn't going to be the same surprise attack that, like, insta-GGs when his factory got scouted by the Overlords. So it's not really that great that he's only clearing up creep, but it is better than just suiciding your army into a bunch of banelings.
Yeah.
The best thing that could happen is Dark actually maybe over-defends and later on doesn't have enough because he didn't make enough drones or he didn't have his queens injecting or something like that, which I think is exactly what KeeN was hoping for.
Dark ran around this army instead of trying to take it head on. He's got a couple of banelings with this too. You need 6 to bust the walls. It's a little awkward seeing 5, but this leaves an opening back at home. We'll see if this is enough of one, though.
So dangerous.
He opens the wall! The floodgates! The links flood in! The blue water washes over the base!
Also, yeah, he's gonna clean up the main push.
Yo,
like,
speed kicked in the middle of that fight, too.
GG.
That timing for Dark could not have been better.
No, that was just a well-scouted, well-defended game by Dark.
It was. You know, the thing, too, on that, one step further is I think if Dark had just simply defended the attack, which he absolutely had the means to do, but if he had just simply defended that attack, I don't know that would have been enough to make KeeN tap out. I think the busted wall and the lings running in, that was what was truly devastating. The two-parter, I guess, to that fight.
Someone's making popcorn. So I figured out
such a distinct smell.
Doesn't it though? I found out what direction my room and my window was facing finally. Like I actually bothered thinking about it for a second.
Like north, south type thing, or what do you mean?
No. It's actually facing the Korean barbecue that's right next to my building.
Oh well, there
so,
you go. That explains it.
But it smells like something's cooking, I guess, which in this case kind of smells like popcorn.
Nice. So as an update, again, for those who have not been keeping track with the brackets, I would type !bracket in chat if I were you, and you can take a look at what's going on. The winner of this series moves on to fight against Hero, and the winner of that goes on to fight against Innovation in the grand finals. So still a couple games left, a couple more matches. Having a great time casting, as always with the grub. I hope you guys are having a good time watching, and we're getting into Daybreak for the next map.
Let me say the grub. I just imagine like a... This is not what my name means, but I imagine anyways, a worm with like really huge biceps.
I always think of it like a college like sort of nickname type thing, like.
Oh, the grub, because I ate like 50 hot dogs in one
yeah,
sitting.
or something like that, right? Yeah.
Good deal.
There's shout out to anyone who remembers this show, like undergrads, and I always think of like the Dougler, the Grubler, the Grub, whatever you want to go with it, but.
I go more like wrestling names when I hear the...
It's like the El Luchador, El Grabo!
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you, Lupa, for the compliment. He says, my face is beautiful. Aw. Aw.
Isn't that nice of him?
Well, Daybreak coming up here. Kicking off with a countdown. Let's get into the game. We'll save the ad break for after this one. As, man, this lobby is full and stacked, full of casters, ready to bring you this awesome match. Thank you for choosing BaseTradeTV. I would like to just shamelessly request that you follow the channel if you're not already, guys. We are creeping up on 70,000 followers. Now, cards on the table. Follower count doesn't mean jack squat most of the time on Twitch, but it's really nice having that number be so dang big. So thank you guys so much who already follow, and thank you in advance to anyone who does follow today. But getting into game number 2, he's currently down, and on his last life here in the loser's bracket, in the bottom left side of Daybreak, we've got KeeN.
In the top right has the blue Zerg. He is Dark.
Are you asking Scarlet to donate $10 because you don't want to flirt with her. You want you to flirt with her instead.
I want the other me. No, we talked about this. I was like, I don't remember why. I think it was when I was asking people to donate on her stream, the eating stream. And I was just talking about how, like, we have specific donations. And I was like, you can donate $10. Oh, I was talking about the drunk stream. Because she's never seen any part of the drunk stream.
Well, that's probably why she still likes us and doesn't disrespect us.
Is that the start of it all? People saw us drunk stream and they just were like, those guys aren't professional.
Actually, I would love if Scarlett didn't see the drunk stream, because that was when I was like over 300 pounds. That was it's not flattering to go back and look at myself on that stream, to be honest.
Just skip to 6 minutes and that's basically all me being drunk from then on.
Yeah.
Like, I really love how that swaps.
What I love is there's so many instances where people everyone's got that drunk story, that one part of it that's weird. And for us in that drunk stream, a lot of people always ask me about the pancake and like what the deal with that was. And I get to tell a story about how like you made a pancake on stream during a Met game, and it took like you froze it because you had leftovers. Like drunk you thought it'd be a good idea to eat it, because really like in the highlights that pancake comes out of nowhere, and like why is she eating a pancake?
Just like a comedy, just like, I got a pancake. No, that was actually a really painful pancake to get. I remember I actually fell down the stairs in the last like 6 set of stairs and like hurt my bum.
Your parents must be so proud of you.
My mom was literally there when I was like, Mom, I need pancakes, and she was like, okay, dear. You're in the freezer.
I'm glad that we've not gotten caught in too many drunk instances since then. At least you, especially since earlier this year in real life. But that's a whole nother can of worms right there. Okay, so for KeeN's sake, his attack fell flat. A lot of that had to do with Dark scouting. A lot of that had to do with Dark being prepared for it. I'm not sure that Dark is the kind of player you want to try and be sneaky against. I think for him, you kind of have to play straight up. But I can totally understand that if you don't feel like your confidence is there, you don't have the macro capabilities you feel to like take Dark on in a 10 to 20 minute game, then what KeeN was doing kind of made a lot of sense.
Well, what's so nice about that kind of trick build is not that it's like not nearly as obvious as the Hellion Starport Marine with an armory all in, which I mean KeeN could be doing if he had an armory like very soon. Because if you do get the scout on the 2-1-1, some Zergs just are like, well, I guess he's 2-1-1 and I don't have anything else to worry about. And they do under defend. So the fact that Dark got that scout at that precise moment, the factory to swap, and was just so unlucky for KeeN, and so well done for Dark.
I think it's zipping around. It's a little bit low on one, but he stays alive, which is kind of nice. He should be able to clean up the rest of the Lings, but of course that one Hellion is guaranteed to die. Nice repairs in that last one too.
He is gonna go for his health battle in, which I feel is just, I actually think is like more obvious than the other build we saw last game. And especially if you see someone opening up with Hellions, like you gotta be automatically suspicious of said Hell Battle in. Yeah, Hellion Banshee came back for a little while into like a 3rd CC in barracks, but for me it was always like, why would you not follow up a scout after seeing the Hellions, and especially the Overlord speed, which Dark does.
He saw the armory, which was the biggest part of this. This is such an old build though, and I feel like it hasn't worked in a while. Most of the time we'd always talk about Koreans would like test the foreigners by opening with this if they didn't know who they were, just to see if they're good enough to stop it. Like, this is not, I think, an anti-Dark build, you know? Like, it's a good build in some cases. I just don't feel like it'll work versus Dark.
Yeah. Dark is so just cautious about this too, with all that scouting. So he will lose the 3rd base, but it was kind of like a later, safer 3rd base anyway. I think the option of that going down was always okay for Dark. And he is counterattacking right now with Lings, and they're actually getting into the natural base. Cyclones are on the way out, but even they will get surrounded by the Lings. That was just pretty bad.
Yes, if this was Roaches, Cyclones aren't too bad of a choice, and Roaches are what's on the table, but yeah, I don't think he was expecting the Lings. The Lings were supposed to ideally be here at home defending, and the Hellbats would be killing them, and then this wouldn't be so bad, but this goes very poorly. Other side of the map, the Cyclones are getting picked off by the Lings. I don't even know why that depot was down.
Yeah, he kind of just thought the Cyclones would take care of it, I guess, when he was partially wrong. This doesn't look too good. I mean, I would have really liked had KeeN done. If KeeN had just like maybe killed the 3rd base, came back home, and didn't take any SCV damage, and he went into mech, it'd be a cool game. but it's not happened.
If this is a follow-up of more Cyclones and not more Hellions, I think KeeN could have actually held this. But unfortunately, the Hellions are not going to measure up against the Hellbats. Or sorry, the Hellbats are not going to measure up against the Ravagers, much less the Roaches. Yeah, so you see the Cyclone just gets blasted each shot. Does a bit of damage. The Viking's going to land, but it's not going to work. Dark about to walk away with this 2-0, and I'm surprised. This was a series I thought would have been a lot closer for him, but KeeN just couldn't take him on, man.
Yeah, I guess, you know, the fact that he went for 2 all-ins really is like an entirely different story than I had set up. I still was going for the 2-0, but it was more like KeeN tried to 2-1-1 and just can't execute it as well as Innovation, but nope, something different.
Shout out to the King of Bears 94 for getting my pit crew sounds. Thought I nailed that. I'm glad one person out of 3,000 knew what I was doing. But yeah, that's going to be the series. Now Dark moves on to play against Hero. Dark did beat Stats 2-1 and Hush, I believe 2-0 to get here. So, oh no, 2-1 versus Hush, excuse me. So, looks like PVZ is not exactly an easy matchup for him. But if he can get through it, he'll go on to fight against Innovation in that Grand Finals. So, 2 best-of-3s remain for the Lei Feng Cup. At this point, everyone, I think, is in the money. So quick reminders that there's $1,400 for first place, $400 for second, and then $200 for third and fourth. But we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll see you guys with a little bit more of the Lei Feng Cup when we return.